24. Hi, welcome to That's the Thing 2 Overture. It's episode 24, and it is Wednesday, June the 28th.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Drew, and
Oh,
Nolan will probably be here.
yeah, if he shows up, he shows up. I had to be more strict with like timing because Drew has like his lunch break.
Yeah.
Can't just like chill out for like 15, 20 minutes and be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, important news. Among Us cartoon is happening in the works. Everyone's favorite game, Among Us, finally getting an animated adaptation. Which I feel like
Will be AI generated.
no, apparently the person from Infinity Train is apparently like the lead behind it,
Yeah, I saw.
which I guess
Oh,
that's all right. I watched like the pilot of Infinity Train and I thought it was okay, and then I didn't watch the actual cartoon.
yeah, safe.
From what I hear, it's fine, even though
Yeah,
I
and that's why I didn't watch it. Fine is not good enough or bad enough to be watched.
yeah, I kind of have like just from my vague like knowing what the show's kind of about some problems with what it does from like a moral level, like the show's themes. But then again, I am like a 36-year-old man trying to look at shows for like kids.
Yep.
It's like
But Kevin, that's what the internet does now.
true. That is true. Even though I'm like, it's like how I look at like Steven Universe and I'm like, maybe you shouldn't tell like everyone to be nice. But then it's like, oh yeah, this is a show for like kids. And a show for kids should have like the moral is, maybe you should forgive people. And it's okay if you got like trauma. Like that's fine. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But anyway,
Uh, kids need broad generalizations.
yeah. Or just it's like, oh hey Nolan, we had to start slightly because Drew. Anyway, how are you feeling about Among Us the cartoon?
I why? How?
Among Us, it's
That's
time.
also a good question
That is
and
good.
good response.
I think it's actually a little late for the Among Us to
Weird
just.
timing with the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff coming out too.
I watched that trailer. It's bizarre because like, okay, so here's my. I don't think it's unique, but for someone my age, unique. Where I was watching the Five Nights at Freddy's official trailer, and due to my inexplicably in-depth knowledge of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, I could tell you exactly what that movie's going to be. Like all of the stupid lore, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's gonna happen. That's this character. That's what they're doing. That's the plot. But yeah, they're kind of doing what I wanted that movie to be, where just some random schlub has to take the job at like Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Where you
Is
got,
it going to be better or worse than Willy's Wonderland?
I think it will. Like that's the question, because Willy's Wonderland sucked, except when Nicolas Cage was on screen. I feel like this movie will be better. I think the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will be better than Willy's Wonderland when Nicolas Cage was not on screen, but worse when Nicolas Cage was on screen.
Hmm.
Like when you're
Will there
seeing,
still be white women jump scares though?
yeah.
That's
Well, they've
important.
already shown in like the trailer.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, where they're like one of like a security card cop lady shows up who may or may not be the woman from like is it
Whatever the
Security
new one
Breach?
was.
Yeah, the new one. She kind of had that vibe to her. And I think they also showed Springtrap showing up. So you got William Afton inside of the Springtrap thing. So they're bringing in some of the
What's
lore
the
from the
spring trap?
well, the Springtrap suits, Drew, are an
Yeah.
animatronic suit with the spring lock system, so they can be used as both a like a mascot costume and as a you could throw it on top of like an animatronic skeleton. But due to shenanigan design flaw. If the spring lock system activated while you're inside it, it would kill you. Which I mean, you would think that'd be like someone would catch that. But as we've seen lately with the submarine, I can see like some franchise owner just being like, "Well, yeah, we'll just put the death
Ah,
in our suit."
look, the death suit doesn't happen often, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's a skill issue. We don't care. We'll get someone else
Yeah,
to
skill
wear
issue.
it. Especially when you know it's William Afton who was like trying to sacrifice kids to get their essence.
Okay, so how many are we going to see a kid murdered on screen?
The question is, will we see the bite of 87? And I say yes in shadow. We will
Ooh,
see
okay.
like the shadow
the-
bite of 87.
Yeah, okay.
What's the
I can
bite
see
of
that.
87?
The bite of 87 is where one of the where one of the developers of the animatronics had like a birthday party, and one of the brother was like, so he had two kids, an older and younger brother, and the younger brother was afraid of it, so the older brother was kind of like holding it, like kind of picking him up and kind of like putting it in one of the animatronics faces, and then part of its thing, it like had a motion where it opened and like closed on like his head.
No, I can
Sound
see
like
that.
it meets OSHA standards.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're completely right. There's going to be a shot where the camera pans and it's to a wall, and you just see the shadow of it happening.
yeah, because like it's kind of like, oh, you're so scared of Fazbear, I'm gonna make you kiss it, and then Fazbear opens up while it's singing and like closes down on the kid, and you'll see that.
I want no. What I really want is I want that scene from the Thing
Oh, where like it, which one?
where it's biting the guy's head and it's just lifting him up as it's doing it,
Yeah.
swinging around.
Well, I mean, in the trailer, we can see that at some point they're gonna, because like one of the reveals of the Fazbear movie is that the animatronics were actually the good guys all along, because they were the souls of the kids that were murdered by William Afton, and they kind of like they assume that every adult there basically is trying to get people, so they're trying to help kids, but they're kind of misguided, being ghost animatronics.
Evan, how much time have you put into listening to Five Nights at Freddy lore?
You have no idea.
A lot.
How
There's
much of that time could you have just been reading a book?
Probably a lot. I mean, listen, sometimes at night you can't really sleep, and LS Mark has said every Five Nights at Freddy's book, and you listen to it. And you go, wow, now I know a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's. And then you find another guy, and he did like his lore playthroughs of all the Five Nights at Freddy's, and you just know about it.
Okay, I want to know how deep Kevin's has fallen down, like these rabbit holes of like, okay, what about what's the like blue YouTube thing with like sharp teeth?
Is that crap? I know I like it's something's like it's not Bendy and the Ink Machine because that's stupid. Bendy and the Ink Machine sucks. It's like Poppy's
Oh, also,
Playland.
yeah. Do you know about Bindi? How much do you know about Bindi and the Ink
I know the
Machine?
entire story of Bendy and the Amazing Ink Machine, and it sucks. It sucks ass. I hate it, but I know all of it.
That's pretty funny.
Because, like, I remember I watched, like, one of the first playthroughs of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and I was not scared. And then they're like, oh god, Goofy, what did they do to you? And it's like one of, like, the wolf or whatever. I'm like, this is terrible. And it's, like, the worst, but children love it. I don't understand. Like, Poppy's Playhouse, which I get. I get why kids think that's both scary and whatever. Even though I think that's the one with the NFTs on it.
What's Poppy's Playhouse?
That's the one where it's like the blue stretchy big armed monster with all
So
the sharp teeth.
it's instead of getting stuck at a Chuck E. Cheese, you're like stuck inside a toy warehouse or
Yeah,
something.
you're like at a toy store, and the
Okay.
toys were like, oh, there's some shenanigans going on with like the toys, and maybe we put humans inside the toys to make them more realistic. Also,
So it's literally Five Nights at Freddy's, just toys.
yeah. But Five Nights at Freddy's is a much more effective and short game.
You know what? It should have just been that episode of Johnny Bravo where he goes to buy birthday presents.
Yeah, like the thing.
Oh yeah.
Also, Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those things where like even people are like, "Oh, Scott Kaufman's weird like right-wing Christian donating thing that shows up sometimes," and you're like, "That's not cool." But then you have all these kids that have like dealt. It's one of those like I can't describe. I think the closest thing is like remember how you kind of started to feel you saw people feeling when like J.K. Rowling took the mask off and they're like, oh shit, all my Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Like imagine that with the Zoomers when they have all their Five Nights at Freddy's and then it's revealed that like the creator was like into Christian and like Republican stuff.
Oh, it's like when Phil Hartman revealed it's all Christian allegory in all of his shows.
You mean Butch Hartman?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, yeah.
It's one of those. Where you're like, oh no.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, so I will probably not watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But I will watch some guy talk about it for an hour. That's like my interest in the franchise.
The movie, but I'll watch a guy talk about it for longer than the movie is.
Oh, that's like my favorite genre of YouTube thing. Oh, I love it. I watched like Lee Speaks talk about Polly Pockets for an hour. That was great.
It's that or any YouTuber just talking about Garfield to any extent.
Dude, I love Garfield videos.
Don't understand the internet's obsession with Garfield.
It's because it's so to me it feels like Garfield's just kind of stupid at some point. It's not that good, really.
Yeah, no, it's just super bland.
Yeah.
I really liked the Garfield and Friends cartoon, and I had one of like the Garfield little collections as a child, and I liked that one. But like it's part of like the internet, I guess, I quote unquote ironic, but then it's not ironic love of things.
Yeah.
I love videos where someone goes way, and it's part of the idea of someone going way too in depth over something stupid. Like I watched that full video where that guy went to every rainforest cafe. Right?
Oh yeah.
He went like across
Drove across country.
Yeah, he did like a cross country road trip just going to every rainforest cafe. And there's something like noble if like wasting your life in such a profound way that just makes me happy. You'll love to see it. Anyway.
You love to see people just do weird stuff that is slightly in stuff you wish you could probably do, but because of the constraints.
It's someone where like you've had the idea, but someone was quote unquote the mad lad that did it.
Yeah.
Like you have the idea of, man, I wish I could go to every rainforest cafe. That'd be stupid. And then someone did it.
Someone's like, yeah, and then I can use as a tax write-off for my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Like when I watched one of the Beyblade YouTubers that said, wouldn't be funny.
The guy who went to Japan?
Yeah, he went to Japan just to get like the one. He goes, wouldn't it be stupid if we did it? And then it just hard cuts to him on the plane flying to Japan to get like the Beyblades early.
I'm literally thinking of like, who's the Jenny Nichols?
Yeah, Jenny
driving
Nichols.
cross country to get a giant spider.
Yeah, she got the giant Aragog plush toy from someone. Spider Quest. Love it.
Like, yeah, super stuff like that's fun.
Oh, I love that. Also, she's great. She's on my list of like videos I will watch anything she puts. Like there's some people I'm like, I don't care what you're talking about. I will click on that video. If iPatch Wolf makes a video about pro wrestling, I don't watch nor care, but I click on that sucker. I'm gonna learn about why everyone hates Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And how he became the tribal chief.
See, I was going to say that, but that's something I would watch. My other one would be watching about fear and hunger. that
Oh,
video from him.
dude, I watched a
I'm
lot
like,
of
holy
Fear and Hunger
shit.
lore. There's some cool stuff in that game. I
I
love
did watch a
people.
lot as soon as I heard about that game.
I love people talking about lore. I think we've talked about this, but yo, if you make like a 10-hour video about some stupid lore or video game, I will turn that sucker on and listen to it. However, I do reserve the right to turn it off if it gets bad.
That's true.
Some of those are bad. I'm like, no, thank
What
you.
do you do while you listen to it?
Usually these are the things I do before I go to bed. Like I'll put on one of those videos for an hour, like before I go to bed, and I'll get inside my bed. I'll pull up the covers and I'll listen to it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm starting to fall asleep. And I turn off the laptop and then I go to bed. You know, sometimes it's Warhammer lore. Sometimes it's like Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, that makes sense because I'm like, I can't understand people who put on those kinds of videos while they're doing other things because it's like I can't do that.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
I want to be
yeah.
clear. This is the stuff I listen to before bed. Like
Oh, no.
this is the hour to 90 minutes where I start to get sleepy and I'm like, all right, I'm too sleepy and tired to play like a video game or pay attention, but I'm like not sleepy enough to go to bed, so I need to go to my room, like turn on like all right, here's like part 2 of the Evermore video and just turn it on while I kind of lay there. That's how you absorb these things.
Oh, huh. Yeah, no, I'm no, usually doing stuff in the middle. I'm usually either doing like chores or laundry or something.
So,
Okay.
I don't know how I'm able to pay attention, but I am.
Yeah, it's
well,
just like the tediousness of it where your brain doesn't need to focus on that part.
yeah.
Yeah. It just helps me get through it, that's all.
Sometimes you just need sounds. To quote Allison from Super Lesbian Animal RPG, I need to be constantly bombarded with sounds and distractions or I will die.
Yeah.
I just constantly gotta have someone there going on about something. Yeah, that's sometimes like, and it's just like, yep. Sometimes you eat good. Like you get like a, although I some of them I make time, like I make time. I watch Red Letter Media videos, and I watch if Mandalore puts out a video, watch that
Oh
sucker.
yeah.
But usually
What's a Mandalore?
Mandalore
Mandalore
Gaming.
Gaming.
I love Mandalore. He's great. He's great.
What's a Mandalore gaming?
He makes video reviews of old / obscure games.
Think of it as, well, it's Seth, but in my opinion, not as goofy.
See, the thing is, like Mandalore is off his meds, but you just don't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, that's it.
If you listen to the Please Stop Talking podcast where he talks about like his life, then you get to see more of like the unhinged things of Mandalore's life, like where the witches were having their rituals beneath his house and he had to stop them. And he did. Or the time where he said he was going to show everyone Star Wars, but then he started like he had his own custom Star Wars that he edited scenes into, and it was making it worse, and people were freaking out because they were like drinking during it. So like he started having like random scenes like but it was like VFX shots without the VFX just put in the movie, and they're like, I don't know why that's in there.
Oh man, I would pay to see that.
Apparently, at one point, it just turned into like the Lego Star Wars movie. He's just like, I don't see anything wrong. It's stupid, but I enjoy it. Other than that, I started playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, hey, you want some more Breath of the Wild? Oh, there it is.
I feel like that is a game for children, but not in the derogatory sense, but in the sense of like when you're a kid and you need to get every ounce of that like game from your wonder game. Like you're getting basically like a couple games a year.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 5 games a year. And you need that sucker to last. And Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is like, we are going to let you keep playing this game forever. But as a grown man child, I get to the point where I'm just not like, I'm not into it. I'm not into getting 100 crystals to upgrade my battery, and it only upgrades it by a third. And I'm like, oh
God,
god.
it's insane. To get like a full battery, you need at least like
It's like 300 crystals. To upgrade all your batteries, you need like 2,000 crystals, and you can only mine them, and
yeah.
but then they all, it's like, oh god, it's like, it's grindy busy work, and I am not here for it.
Yeah, you need like 18,000 crystals, and the crystals are not easy to come by.
No, you have to go down to the underworld, and then you gotta mine them, and then you gotta wait till like crap respawns, and it's like, okay. But I get it, because it's just one of the things, I can see myself in like middle to high school where I'm like, yeah, I don't mind, whatever. Like, you're telling me I have to spend like 50 hours to max a thing in this game? Sick, I'll do it. I don't care. I came home from school. I'm not doing my homework. I did that on the bus.
I do hate that there's a point where you get an auto builder where it just automatically builds stuff for you.
Yeah, I got that. I made my auto build sign that fixes all of the sign problems. Where the
Oh, see,
guys hold it.
perfect.
I'm like, hey, this is my sign multi-tool to keep the signs up.
So, I didn't realize that was a thing until the end of the game.
Oh, helping the guy hold up his stuff?
And someone told me about that, and I went, huh. Well, hold on a second. Yeah.
I kind of wish that more Zeldas would be linear. Like, I feel like, because it's obviously sold very well, and it gets high ratings, and they're like, well, this is what the Zeldas are going to be. And I'm like, no.
Here's what I want. I want, like, 2 DLCs from this, and then let's do something different.
I would even be okay, even if, okay, so what I would, like, part of the issue with it is that, like, it kind of feels like, I think Nintendo is taking the wrong parts of Breath of the Wild and taking that to be like, no, that's what people want though, right?
No, it's
Because like the setting of Breath of the Wild is not the interesting part. Where I feel like Nintendo is like, nah, you love this version of like Destroyed Hyrule with all like these characters, right? It's like, no, I really don't.
People
but
did
no,
though.
I liked it because it was different from
Yeah.
the last 3 games.
Yeah, it was the
something new.
change. It was like, oh, this is how Zelda acts in this one. That's different than the other one. I also think it has the problem of all Zelda games where like Zelda's personality changes when she becomes Shrine Maiden Princess. Like, I don't like you see her being like forward thinking and inquisitive, and then you get flashbacks where she's kind of like standing around and a little bit mopey, and I'm like, come on.
I completely forgot how much I hated this Zelda's voice
Oh,
until
she's
like
terrible.
I started the game.
She's
I switch
terrible,
every
Link.
time. I switch to Japanese because I'm like, I'm done.
Oh no, Link.
I do in every game.
Link,
Link. Ramu. Oh dear.
I don't understand how video game voice acting for Japanese games is always so bad.
Well, if you want the opposite of that, I got a little game for you.
Ooh.
Called Final Fantasy 16.
Have you been playing that?
Oh, yes.
How is it? It's on my
Good.
list.
I mean, it's Final Fantasy Devil May Cry, but every voice actor is really good in it.
I would imagine so. Like,
I'm sorry. Let me turn it back. It's Final Fantasy Devil May Cry Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because like I mean, the Final Fantasy 14 voice acting is good. I mean, once they had like a voice acting change between like the first one and then like the first expansion.
Oh yeah.
But like the voice, it's good. It's good.
15 is good in places,
I
but
thought
this
Final
one,
Fantasy 7 remake had good voice acting too.
oh well, yeah. Fuck yeah, no, Bear is like golden.
I think Street Fighter 6 has good voice acting.
Oh yeah.
I like
A specific post where the Japanese like voice director was like, normally I don't get involved, but something about this one he did get involved, and it's like, oh, I think I can tell a difference.
Sometimes British voices are just really annoying. Not in 16.
I think it's good. Yeah, they probably used a lot of their like the same talent pool as like 14 because 14 also has like English voice act, like British. They go fantasy Britain. I think it was Pat or something that was saying like there's some complaints how like there was not like people of color in the new Final Fantasy, but then one of the themes is like slavery, and you're like, okay, I see why
Yeah.
they did that. It's like magic slavery. It's like, uh-oh, that could have gone bad. Could have had a David Cage situation.
The whole thing is like, yeah, why would there be black people in medieval Europe at this specific time?
There's some people.
They haven't gotten there yet.
There's some dudes there, hanging out.
They're at the very bottom.
You know, hanging out in like Spain. It was
They're
across
off the
from
map.
Madrid. I mean,
I want to be clear. Anyone from Spain or Greece or like Southern Europe, just a white guy. Well, it's just a white guy now.
well, yeah.
Othello's a Moor. He was dark skinned.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, no, like when your Roman Empire gets so far, you're gonna have like you're gonna have some people in there. It's cool.
You're gonna have slaves of every color.
There you.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get at.
Like, I'm not a racist. I'll enslave anybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Also, they're
No matter what color you are.
and city statist. I don't know how that works, but they'll do it. Make it happen. They got all the vices of humanity. That's how we go in there.
We need to return to the true culture of being a man in ancient Greece.
Yeah, we need to have like be one of those Twitter accounts that has like the ancient Greek statue and then is lamenting the downfall of Western civilization without realizing that like ancient Greece was also super gay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where you know you gotta marry. You can still like have sex with guys, but you gotta marry a woman.
Yeah, you know.
Come on. And it's cool to be gay as long as you're the top. Right? Like, if you're bottom, ew. But top, that's cool, man. You can have sex with all the guys you want. Because that's not gay. In the eyes of the Greeks.
Yeah, you know.
It's so
you're
weird.
just establishing your dominance.
Yeah.
It's like how dogs, they'll just hump another dog sometimes.
It's so stupid.
You know?
I'm like, that's not the civilization I want to go through. I don't return
My
to.
still
It's
favorite
dumb.
thing about ancient Greece is when people realized that all those statues had paint on them
Yeah.
and were like very gaudy.
Paint is the most god awful.
There's bright colors.
Oh, it was like the gaudiest, and they looked because
Oh,
you see
man.
like here's what this statue actually looked like back in the day, and you're like, oh, looking like a bad Warhammer figure whenever they painted a little bit too thick on there, and you're like, oh, I love it. I love it when people get their comeuppance. Big fan of comeuppances.
Mm-hmm.
Except for me. I hate it whenever I get my comeuppance.
I hate it.
Oh, I hate it. It's terrible.
I hate it when I have to reap what I sow.
Yeah, I love sowing. I hate reaping. So your any cool stuff in like what's your favorite part of Final Fantasy? Either no spoil or vague spoil.
Oh god, there's a lot of really cool fights, but there's a cool moment where your dog comes in and does like an RKO on a person.
Just grab him by like the neck and pull him down or something.
No, it's the one where like you like dive at someone, spin around their head, and then like slam them to the ground.
Oh wow, but in dog form.
It's the dog biting, spinning around, and then throwing someone down.
Yeah. Yeah, I would give up
And
if I was like fighting a dude and his dog did like a takedown. Like a midair takedown. I'm like, I'm done.
the music's good. Literally everyone you meet pretty much dies, so you can never tell who's staying with you for a while or what.
From the reviews
You can't tell who's part of the party.
from the reviews I read that like at some point like the Game of Thronesness kind of starts to like lessen and it just turns more Final Fantasy, like around like the 40% mark or something, or it's kind of like at the beginning it's trying to like get really like all right, and then they're like okay, are they satisfied? Now we're gonna start talking about like the mother crystals.
Have we? Yeah, that's literally the point. Is that every country has a mother crystal, and sometimes you gotta fight other countries for a mother crystal.
Yeah, that's how.
Because that's the thing that makes your lands good.
But that's every Final Fantasy has to have the mother
Yeah.
crystals. Like that's part of the thing. Sometimes they're robots, sometimes they're not. The mother crystals are always there. Sometimes they're materias. I'm gonna count a materia as a mother crystal.
Yeah.
I'll count it.
There's the large MacGuffin that we have to get to because that's the important thing.
Yeah. I can't think of all of them, but they all have crystals. They love the crystals.
But every crystal has a guardian, which is your summon.
Yeah. You're dominant.
Except for at the fire crystal, another dominant came out.
Yeah, you had Ifrit and Phoenix.
Yeah, and Ifrit. It's fine. It's in the dim. Ifrit murders the Phoenix.
Ifrit is cool. I'm glad. That's one of the things I was glad in that game where they're basically saying Ifrit needs his game because he's generally like the first summon, and you either kill him as like a boss really easily or like you just put him away.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're like, nah, give the boy his game.
he's the important one. Because he nuked an entire castle and murdered the Phoenix.
Yeah, I did that Hellfire attack. That's always really cool.
Oh, it's so cool. No, but yeah, and it's very weird. You know how like games will have a lot of like Japanese sort of mannerisms?
Yes.
Yeah. None.
Okay, that is weird.
It's weird. Yeah, like it caught me off guard. I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game.
It's like how
there's no that like that talking to someone you like. Oh, well.
I think it's like how last
Believe
call
in
back
yourself.
it's like to call back to our last where I was talking about like how in Elden Ring the loathsome dung eater basically has the same lore as like a kappa from Japan.
Yeah.
Where you're like oh, I know what that is. You have this medieval fantasy, but it's like, yeah, there's a kappa doing some kappa stuff. Like how ghosts work. It's like, actually, this is like more like a yokai. Got a yokai situation here. And you're like, okay. Where it's like, nah.
Oh. Honestly, I'm still pretty early in the game, so I'll let you guys know if it goes better.
Do you think it's a Game of the Year contender?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Okay. Because, like, currently on my Game of the Year list, it's Street Fighter 6 is my number one. Even though...
Oh, no. I mean, for right now, RE4 is my number one.
Okay. And that's mainly because, like, even though I accomplished all my goals in Street Fighter, so now I'm just kind of cruising.
Yeah.
I defeated Pat on stream, so I did that.
God damn it. So many games coming out.
Oh yeah. I need to play that stupid. So what? So Bricky did a video about like Mechanarium or whatever. Mechabellum. I gotta play that sucker.
It was like the point and click adventure one.
What'd you say?
Oh no,
Mechanarium.
I also want to ask. There was something else I've done this week.
All right.
Oh,
Uh,
what'd you do?
I finally watched the revival show on HBO Max
Ooh.
that we've been talking about. Oh wait, no, not that.
Clone
We
High?
actually did already talk about that.
You finished Clone High?
Yeah.
Did you actually finish it? Because I kind of stopped.
Uh, I think I took. I'm like a few more episodes in. Still not that good.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just last week we had someone stay with us, and so like Thursday rolled around and I didn't watch the episodes. And I think I was already like I'd only watched one of the episodes for the week before, and I was just and now I'm realizing I think I'm free. I think I'm done. I don't have to watch no more, and it feels good.
I never got on the train. The
Yeah,
Infinity
I was kind of
Train.
lucky.
So, like, what's your favorite parts of it? What'd you like? What'd you dislike?
Oh, honestly, it's really just the first two episodes are probably the best of it. And then everything else
Rita,
kind of just
I think
mediocre to kind of sucks.
yeah, it's. I think we've talked about it. How it just feels like the new writers completely misunderstand the show.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't get they needed to watch more MTV dramas to understand
They
why
need to
the show
watch
was
more
good.
Degrassi from like
Yeah,
the
that's
newer
basically
years.
it. It's like you
And
need
then,
to drown yourself in like
well,
teen high school drama.
what's the teen high school drama? Well, we don't have any
Yeah, no,
anymore.
that's the thing. We don't have any.
So then, what's the?
That's why
You
that
can't
show doesn't.
parody anything.
That's yeah, the show doesn't work because one, we don't have any, and two, we're not of that era where people would just watch garbage because it came on before or after the TV show they liked.
Yeah.
Like Doug, the only reason I watched so much Doug is because it was a cartoon on Nickelodeon and I didn't have anything else to do. Because I'd already beaten Sonic the Hedgehog 2 like 100 times. So I didn't want to play that. It was raining outside. Even not like I would go outside anyway, but even like to remove further like options. So like my parents wouldn't make me go outside. So it's like, all right, we got Doug. I guess we're
Yep,
watching
or
Doug.
nothing.
And that would kind of happen with like some of the MTV shows where you're like, all right, I want to watch this cartoon. I want to watch undergrads or whatever. But now I got to sit through the last 15 minutes of
Yes,
this teen drama. Which, yeah, that doesn't exist nowadays.
Yeah.
Because why? I don't sit through things.
Oh, do we want to talk about Submarine anymore?
We did that last week.
Yeah, I feel like we're good on that now.
I think the submarine is gone.
I do think we need to throw a few more games on the list. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's just gonna stop
yeah.
happening.
All right, we'll do that. We have like a couple minutes. All right,
Yeah.
where are we at? I gotta pull that up.
Yeah, we're on to our number fives.
Okay, I think who's going?
I think you can actually start because it's your turn to start.
All right. Anyway, my
Cool.
number 5 on favorite video games is probably I think it's one of like the newest game on my list. It is a game I consider perfect in terms of gameplay, in terms of graphics, like everything. This game rules. I've replayed it, so that also counts it. And that game is Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's incredible. The soundtrack's incredible. The animation's incredible. The lore and story is incredible. It's really good. The music is sorrowful. It looks great. I like how the bugs look. It animates really smoothly. The combat
What
is
kind of
good.
game is Hollow Knight? Is it a Metroidvania?
It's like it's a Metroidvania. More a little bit more like I don't know. It's a cross because you do get upgrades. Oh yeah, it's a Metroidvania. Go around your bug, you explore. It does a lot of cool stuff where like the world opens up like 3 times where you think you've hit the edge and then you hit the edge again and you're like, oh crap. Or like and then you go up and then you do stuff. Your upgrades actually matter. There's not a lot of them. Well, I mean like there's a chunk, but it feels like I think there's like 4 weapon upgrades in that game. And you're like everyone's pretty significant. And he has little charms, so you can make little builds. It feels like it rewards you enough. I feel like that game rewards you enough for exploring it, and has enough, even like money sinks, where you're never like out of money, but money actually buys you some stuff. You're like, okay, that was good. I appreciate.
And of course, you're also constantly looking for specific upgrades to
Yeah.
or stuff to upgrade certain things.
Yeah. It's good. I think it's really good. It's cool how you get like double jumps and dashes and invincibility on your dashes. My complaint why it's only 5 and not higher is that I think the game leans a little bit too into its combat instead of its exploration. Like as the game kind of gets near the end, it wants to kind of start throwing boss rushes at you. And while the combat is good, it's not like that's not why I played that game. I played that game to explore like the old bug kingdom that's dying, not for like a hyper twitch fight. And that's kind of what the game wants to kind of turn into. But I guess that's just because it's easier to make like a boss fight than it is to make like an entire new area. But otherwise, yeah, Hollow Knight, love it. Sick game. It's paced well too. All right, who's next? Hello? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, did it go away? Is the internet here? Well, viewers. Drew, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying who's next, and no one was saying anything.
Oh no,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
I think I'm next. Well, so on the current list, where are we putting Hollow Knight? I would put it
I'd put it around.
above Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I'd put it below Nier Automata.
Okay. That's fine with me. I think that fits in well with those.
Okay, yeah. All right, my game. Maybe probably the best game from this very well-known game creator.
In that,
A game creator they constantly cheer and scream for whenever he shows up at an E3 or a PlayStation event.
so which Metal Gear are we talking about?
Oh, you know what Metal Gear we're talking about.
We
The
talking
best
about
one.
Metal Gear Solid 3?
Yes, we are. MGS3.
That's very.
The
That's a good
the
one.
magnum opus of the Metal Gear franchise.
That's the best one.
It's hands down the best one. Has the best mechanics. It has an amazing story.
I agree.
I don't.
I
like
love the
3 that
survival
much.
aspects to it. I love just everything top to bottom.
You don't.
Yeah,
And-
I don't like 3 that much.
Oh,
I do not like the camo stuff. I do not like the survival stuff.
oh, I loved it. I loved those fights. I love that sniper fight with the end. It was so cool.
Yes.
I loved Revolver Ocelot being the worst. Going,
I love
so good.
the sorrow where because of your choices it's going to make the fight harder.
You know that
Whether you choose to just knock people out or just straight up murder them.
I'll admit I got a little misty at the end of that game.
And
When
can
that
love truly bloom on the battlefield?
when it and it wasn't like the end of it. It was when they were talking about what the boss did. That's like what got me. And you see old big boss Naked Snake just start to be like, oh, like you get to feel his disgust. Love it. I love that game.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
That man was covered in bees. He shot bees at you.
He said you.
He shot you with bees, and he was covered
That
in
big
them.
stupid Russian with his flame jetpack.
Oh, he was so mad.
He's
He
so
went to
mad.
space, and it just pissed him off.
Oh,
I love Metal Gear 3. Big fan. I think the Shagohod is cool. I think the Shagohod is cooler than a lot of the other Metal Gears because it's more like I can see this actually working as like a mobile nuclear platform.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Metal Gear Rex.
It's not like out of this world sci-fi bullshit.
Yeah, like it's like Metal Gear Rex is cool. I'm not gonna throw it down. Like Metal Gear Rex is super cool and I love it. But like Shagohod is like, okay, I see like that working. Even with this weird drill treads, but I guess that was because so it could just do it anywhere. It just needed like enough like runway or clearance where it could like, yep, it's gonna shoot its ICBM at you. It was good.
It's also that game is the pivotal point for the entire series
Oh yeah.
because it's the prequel to the start of it.
Yep. I think it's
I fucking love it.
Big fan of it. I think it's I've gotten as time goes on, I forgive Metal Gear 2. I'm way more down. Like I'm
Oh yeah.
I like it. I was okay with Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, but now I'm like, yo, actually Metal Gear 2 is pretty great. I still think Revengeance is prophetic. Like Revengeance is a stupid cartoon, but it turns out
Let's be clear, everything he makes is kind of
like Hideo Kojima makes like stupid garbage, and then it just turns out it's real. So thank you, Kojima.
The man can read the room.
Thank you, genius Kojumbo.
Yeah. That's always really good at.
Yeah.
So I can see how stupid people are and how they'd react to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew
Turns out it's not that hard.
And Drew didn't like it, but that's okay.
No.
No, it's alright.
So where are we putting it on the thing?
Remember, the game is number 5.
I would put it around Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh.
Is it better than No More Heroes? On your list, yes. I'm just thinking about, like, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd put it below Melee.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
I think it's like, I like the stuff No More Heroes does, but I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is more of a good game, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
like if you wanted to play the game, I think Metal Gear 3 is like a better game
Oh,
than
yeah.
No More Heroes. Even though No More Heroes is kind of a more interesting experience.
It's another game with dumb, stupid bosses that you have to fight.
Yeah.
And their goofy goofness.
Mm-hmm. There's some goofy goobers in there. But yeah, I'd put it there. All right, Drew, what's your number 5?
Number 5 for me is also about hunting down Mavericks, and it's Mega Man X.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh, Mega Man X and Mega Man X1, we're gonna assume.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Mega Man X1.
Okay. Tell me about this Mega Man X.
Oh man, like I don't have. The game starts with you teleporting down with like a synth rock destroyed highway as the opening sequence.
It's strong. It's so strong. Like I played some of the classic Mega Mans, and I think they're good. But just Mega Man X, I think feels better.
Yeah,
Like,
I think getting the dashy,
yeah, you got
the
the
leg
dash
upgrades,
boots,
and
the wall
you know they
jumps.
were onto something with the dash boots because they're like, no, these are like the only mandatory upgrade. You come across them by doing literally nothing. You don't go out of your way. They're just like, nope, here are the legs. Get them.
I think the charge sound is good. You got
Mm-hmm.
virals in the first one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vile's in the
Vile.
first one because you fight him at the end of the
Yeah,
highway,
and like Zero
and then
saves you.
Zero shoots him and shows up, and you're like, who the fuck is that guy?
I like Mega Man X a lot. I think it's like
All the bad guys are sick. I like that they're all aminals.
oh yeah.
Dude.
It's hard
You
for me
have
to
the
talk
Blade
about.
Demon of space and time,
It's
Boomer Coinger.
yeah. It's hard for me about Mega Man X. It's one of those games that like I can't really talk a lot about because it's just like story wise, it's like it's like platform, but it's like the levels are really good. The levels in that
Mm-hmm.
game are really good.
And they're varied.
And I felt like it was not easier, but I felt like it was more doable than like some of the classic Mega Mans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not as BSy. And like depending on your stage order also affects different stages.
Yeah,
If you beat Storm Eagle before Spark Mandrill, then the power plant is destroyed.
Man.
it's cool.
Yep.
I like Mega Man X. I would I can't. That's like the straight punch where I'm like, nah, it's good. I really like it.
Also Mega Man X is my first experience with like slowdown in a video game and like frame rate hitching. But being a child, I thought it's the part at the end of Armored Armadillo stage where you're riding the unicycle minecart, and just before you ramp across the gap, like there's too many sprites, so the SNES starts chugging, but you're just like, oh, this is for dramatic effect. This is just slowdown because it's sick as hell.
It's that thing that you go, I'm hitting it so hard that the game itself can't handle it.
But I didn't know that as a kid. I just thought it was slowing down because it was dramatic.
I always yeah, or that because like you'd seen it in either a cartoon or something where someone got hit and it went to slow mo to show like how
Yeah.
impactful it was. And like, oh, the game's
Uh-huh.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Mega Man X. Where are we putting it on the list?
I can turn loose.
I'll be considerate and say
I
above Shadow of the Colossus.
I would say it needs to go around Melee era.
I would put it above Melee.
All right. So like
That
I would put it above
Okay.
Melee because I feel it is a good
yeah.
experience, but it is not like I'd put it because I'd put it below Metal Gear 3. Do we put Metal Gear 3 below Melee or above Melee?
Yeah,
We put it. I thought we put it below Melee.
Okay, yeah. So
we did.
I would put
It,
Mega Man
it's No
X.
More Heroes, MGS3, Melee. Then I say Mega Man X, and then above that was
On the Drew's list, Shadows of the Colossus was above
Shadow
Melee.
Claw.
I do not think it's like as much. Mega Man X, while cool, is not an experience. And I think that's where we start getting to with Shadow of the Colossus. When you start getting to
I
a
feel
raw
like
emotional appearance.
it is special because it was like probably the pinnacle of
Oh, I think it's like one of the best Mega. Like I put it above Melee,
overall.
but I did
So
not have an
Mega Man
emotional response to like Mega Man X.
See, but I did because I was a child when I first played it.
Oh, I see.
So it's impacted extra. And then I played it on the PS4. Or no, the PSP, and it was still sick as hell.
See, I feel bad because I had Mega Man X, and then like I waited a bit, and then I'm like, oh, there's a new Mega Man X out for the PlayStation called Mega Man X7.
Oh
Well, I
no!
loved X. I'll love this one.
If only you hit Mega Man X4. Mega Man X4 is pretty good.
Oh heck yeah!
Those
Motion
games would
Fury,
benefit from
pretty
having
good.
someone besides Sigma as the bad guy.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
that's the inherent
the one
flaw of
weakness.
Mega Man. Mega Man, it's always Dr. Wily or
Wily.
Sigma. But then there's that. So I don't think we're gonna get any more today because we gotta go. But
No, I think that's
that rumored part, God, that they never talk about. But it's like where Dr. Wily unleashes Zero, and you know it's that part where Zero gets out and Mega Man has to fight him, and then Mega Man at the end, you know he kills Dr. Wily.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Mega Man himself kills Dr. Wily, and that's like the end of Mega Man. Like, and then
That's
X
where
is...
Dr. Light has to shut him down.
Yeah, because he
He's
did
gotta
it.
put him in where
Oh.
he becomes X.
Yeah, where like X is built on the basis of Mega Man. But you know, it's like that. Like they'll never show it. Like that 1990 whatever where Dracula gets killed. But like, oh man, Capcom, you're currently in Cap God status. I think now is the time. Give us the Mega Man game where he kills Dr. Wily at the end. Now's the time.
No, that sounds terrible.
Oh, I want to see it.
No, that sounds terrible and completely misses the like feeling of. Okay, if you want to hire the same guy who made Pluto to do that Mega Man,
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah, get Naru Iroquois. Oh, I forget his name. Get him on it. That was basically basically what I'm saying is like this is the thing my heart wants, but realistically the thing has to tell me no because it's like Homer making his car. We're like, yeah, it's stupid. This is stupid. It's like I don't care. It's stupid though. I want to see Zero mess stuff up, and then Mega Man has to defeat Zero. I want to see it. It's that one like Archie comic or whatever where you had to put down one of the robot masters, and it was really intense.
I forgot about those comics.
Yeah.
So wait, is Mega Man above or below Metal Gear?
It's above
Wait, no, it's
Melee.
above Melee, so
Yeah.
that's above Metal Gear.
Yeah.
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 Above Metal Gear.
Okay,
above
so it's
Melee.
above Melee.
Because it's a pure game. The top of the list, I think what's going to happen is it has to be a game that has illicit, incredible. The combined list is you need emotional appeals, unless you're really a pure game.
That means the number one game on this list should be Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
That game did make me upset, but if there's other games that's made me way more upset that did not make the list.
Okay.
I don't know. Nier Automata got feelings. So does Disco.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah.
So does some of these things.
Yeah. This is a good list so far.
Okay. Oh, I got some.
Well, I gotta go.
All right.
Later days.
Later days.
Okay.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye.